All right, now we're going to go over the angles section of our test review. So the first thing I want to do when I look at these problems, I want to find the angle that I'm looking at. So here's my angle. And you want to find where is the vertex of your angle. So for this one right here, the vertex is this point. And then classify it. This point is outside of the circle. And so this is an outside angle. And the equation we use for the outside is that angle equals 1/2 big minus small. And big and small refer to the arcs that are made by this angle. So when I think about this, I think about how the angle kind of looks like a mouth, and the arcs are the arcs that the mouth is eating. So here, this mouth, it looks like it's eating this arc, and then it also has this other little arc here that it's eating as well. Well, there's the big and the small. Here's the big arc, there's the small arc. X is our angle. And now I just plug into the equation, the formula. So angle is X equals 1/2. The big arc is 140 minus the small arc is 55. Now I'm going to simplify in order to solve for X. So I'm going to start inside the parentheses. 140 minus 55 is 85. 85 times 1/2 is 42.5. So here we get a decimal. That's okay. That's allowed. Our X is 42.5 degrees. The next type of problem we have here, question number 6, notice my angle is right here. And this angle, the vertex is this point right here in the middle. This is an inside angle. And notice I did say in the middle, but I really shouldn't have said that, because that point is not the exact middle of the circle. It's just inside the circle. So this is an inside angle. And anytime you see an inside angle, the equation you're going to use is angle equals 1/2 arc plus arc. So there's two different arcs here. Now, it only looks like our angle is eating one arc. So where might the other arc be? Well, the other arc is whichever arc is opposite of this one. So here, this arc is opposite. How could you tell which one's opposite? Well, notice we have really 4 arcs that are made between all these points on the circle. This arc right here would have touched this arc, so they can't be opposite if they touch. And the same thing here. If I had highlighted this arc, you would see how they touch each other here. So it might be helpful for you on your test, if you have highlighters, to highlight the arcs you're using and make sure that if they're supposed to be opposite, that they are. All right, so now I'm going to plug in. My angle is 44 equals 1/2. The arcs are 63 and X, so 63 plus X. And now I'm just going to solve for X. So the first thing that I want to do in this problem, because X is inside the parentheses, I need to move everything away from it. I'm going to start by getting rid of the 1/2. So in order to get rid of it, to cancel it out, I would multiply by its reciprocal. So the reciprocal of 1/2 is 2. So I'm going to multiply by 2. Whatever I do to one side, I have to do to the other. So I'm going to do 2 times 44 is 88, equals, those cancel, and I'm left with 63 plus X. All right, last thing to do here is to get rid of that 63. So I'm going to subtract 63 from both sides. 88 minus 63 is 25. So X equals 25. All right, we're going to move on to question 7 here. I wrote kind of big, so I'm going to try to shrink it so that we have some space. But question 7, take a second, see if you can find the vertex for that angle. And I'll fix that later for the answer key. All right, so here's my angle. And the vertex of the angle is this point right here. And notice it is on the circle. So the equation for an angle that is on the circle is angle equals 1/2 arc. Well, the arc that goes with this angle that it looks like it's going to eat is this arc right here. So when I plug in, our angle is x equals 1/2 times the arc is 142. All right, for this one, I just need to simplify. 142 times 1/2 is 71. So x equals 71. 71 degrees. Now, there is one other type that's not here, but I want to show you. So 8 and 9 are both types that we've seen together. So I'm going to leave those for you to try. But I'm going to add my own number 10 right here. I'm going to draw my circle. And there's another type of angle that you might see, and I kind of had mentioned it before. But it's this angle right here. And let me do some labeling too, make up some numbers. I'm going to say that the angle is x and that the arc is we'll say 91 degrees. All right, so here is my angle. Notice this angle has its vertex at this point right here. And that is inside the circle, but it's inside at the center. This is what we call a central angle. And so anytime you're at the center, wow, like this, the equation is that the angle equals the arc. So it's not even really a formula. We just know that the angle is equal to the arc. So if the angle is x and the arc is 91, then I know that also the angle is 91 as well. Now, you could use this to solve. Obviously, you set it up, you set them equal, and you solve for x. But I just wanted to point out this last example too.